All righty. I think we're recording. At least I hope so. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I am Jennifer Filzen. I am in the West Coast Swing Dance community, and I am on the phone with Carlito Rofoli, who is a West Coast Swing Dance legend. He is the most amazing, humble beginner of all beginners. Even though he is a dance legend, he is known around our community for always wearing t-shirts saying, "I'm just a beginner," kind of thing. So we love him. He's like our entire community's grandpa, and he is adored and beloved. So welcome, Carlito. Yay!
Well, thank you. It's an honor. I'm really very humbled. It's an honor to be interviewed by you.
Ah, well, hey, this was an idea that was born last week. Here we are in the middle of the COVID-19 crisis. A lot of people are social distancing. A lot of West Coast swing dance conventions, as well as other live events all across the world, are being canceled. And so I find that we are craving a human connection even more so, especially since we are distancing and shelter in place and on lockdown, trying not to leave our homes. So you are the very first person that I am interviewing for my new show, Connecting with Jennifer Filzen. And the idea is to allow us to connect. And I have 4 questions for you that I'm going to ask. And I would just love to hear your take on things, and there are no wrong answers. Okay, Carlito?
I understand.
Wonderful. Okay. The very first question I have for you is very open-ended, but and you can take it in any direction that you want. The question is, what makes you special and unique?
What makes me special? What now?
What makes you special and unique?
That is a good question because, to be honest, I don't know. No, I'm serious because when people praise me or compliment me on things that I do or give me credit for things, and I think to myself, what have I done? I'm thinking to myself, why are they doing this?
Yep.
What have I given them? For example, when I was honored and when I was inducted into the World Swing Dance Council Hall of Fame, I cried, and people were thanking me for this and that. And I even talked to Ben. Ben Morris was very, very, very nice. I even told Ben, I don't understand because, to be perfectly honest, I don't feel like qualified to be in there. When I look at all the things that other Hall of Famers got on their resume when they got inducted into it, I don't come anywhere near them.
Mm.
So what he did, he was so nice. I don't know how he got it, but he took a portion of the tape at the years of it when they announced my induction.
Mm-hmm.
And from him, he was giving me his feelings as to why he felt that I should be. He says, there were over 1,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
And if you listen to the applause that you got, they all believe that you belong in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, you do.
But then the question is that, but what did I do? Like most of the credentials they asked for the Hall of Famers were, like, what have you done? Have you done movies? Are you an event director? Do you teach? All those different questions that I don't even come anywhere near it. Like, for example, my beautiful, I adopted as my daughter, Lorraine Baldovi. She also got inducted the same night. When you look at her credentials as to what she has done, and you look at mine, there is no comparison whatsoever. You know what I mean? So when I look at all the other people, then that's when I said I'm very honored to be inducted. But what did I do? Mm-hmm. And people are trying to tell me that it's a different type of things that you've done versus them. Yes, I may not have won the U.S. Open, things like that, but I have done other things. And I keep trying to think to myself, what did I do? And they said, and people said, tell me all the little things. That now I'm slowly trying to understand why they give me all the credit.
Uh-huh.
I'm very, very honored, but when you ask me what makes me special, I don't know. I'll be honest, I really don't.
Oh, you're so wonderful.
I'm just being me when I go dancing. You know how I love to dance. You know, I love the people.
Yes.
When they ask me questions, I always give them I always tell them it's just my humble opinion of this, that, or whatever.
Uh-huh.
When I used to church a lot, and I started, and most of the people that know me in those years of judging, and I always tell them, when they ask me, are you judging this weekend? I always say, no, I'm not. Mm-hmm. But I saw your name on the flyer. Yes, I am. Mm-hmm. But you're not judging? No, I'm not. But you are a judge. They said, no, I'm just an opinionator. I said, who am I to judge anyone? Who am I to judge anyone? Because the things they tell you to judge for is so broad. Mm-hmm. You know as well as I do, and everybody, it's very, very, very subjective. Mm-hmm. So that means I'm supposed to judge the person. It's just my opinion of what I saw, whether they like it or not. It's just my opinion. Mm-hmm. It's not like ballrooms where your head's up, your shoulders back, your foot position. Your hair has to be so. Swing. They tell you need connection, you need to dance with your partner, and so forth. But which has more poise versus the other? Like this past year at the U.S. Open, they have started it where now the judges at the U.S. Open has to pass the exam. Mm-hmm. And that's what they're doing now.
Good.
Because you notice a lot of events now are having people putting up there that they have an intensive training to be a judge.
Oh, fantastic.
But now, if you want to be a judge for the U.S. Open, you better make sure you follow what they ask you to do.
Nice.
You have to take the classes and, so forth and so on, which what they introduced at the Open this last year. Mm-hmm. So again, I can answer you that question. I'm sorry.
No. You are wonderful. You've given me so many golden nuggets. I'll tell you what I think makes you special and unique, Carlito. I got involved in West Coast Swing starting in 2006, I believe. And so that's 14 years of being in this dance community. And I remembered the very first dance convention I ever went to, because I was living in the Bay Area, was Monterey Swing Fest. And I had the opportunity to meet you. Pat Iotis had introduced us. And you were wearing your T-shirt that says "I'm just a beginner," or you have those T-shirts that let us know that you're a beginner, right? And Pat was introducing you as somebody that I should meet, and I was just so impressed by your humility, because I didn't know who you were. But you were just, very kind and very warm and welcoming to us newbies, right? And that is one thing that always stands out about you. You welcome, you're just like a grandfather. You welcome us, you hug on us, you love on us. And it doesn't matter if we're champions or if we're seasoned dancers or if we're brand new. You always are. I'm going to use the phrase the Walmart greeter who meets us at the door and who welcomes us in. Another thing that I absolutely love about you is that I have known you for a while. We don't get to talk to each other as much as you do with the others, because I don't go to as many conventions as you do. And you are world renowned in our dance world. And I'm just a California girl, right? But one thing that I absolutely love about you is I believe it really was Monterey Swing Fest, again, because I'm here in Monterey. And you and I had gotten to know each other, and you approached me and you said the cutest thing to me. You said, "Excuse me, miss, do you dance with beginners? And I thought that was so cute, Carlito, because I should be asking you that question. I only have 14 years in this, and you've been doing this for decades. How many decades have you been dancing West Coast swing?
How long I've been dancing?
Yeah.
Well, dancing, or West Coast dancing?
Both. How long have you been dancing, and how long have you been doing West Coast swing?
Well, dancing goes back when I was a little boy. I grew up in the environment. There was always music and dancing going on.
Mm-hmm.
When the family get together, or whenever there's a little party, whether it's just small family party or combined with other relatives, or a little bigger and bigger, it depends on the size. There's always dancing. Even if there was only 4 people or 5 people or 10 people, there's always music going on and there's always dancing. Now, here's what happened. I was about 4, 5, 6 years old, somewhere along there. And when the relatives get together, all the guys, especially all the married guys and the single guys, they all get together. They're in a corner. They're shooting crap. They're smoking, drinking beer, and telling jokes among themselves.
Uh-huh.
Now, all the wives are in the other room wanting to do something. They're talking themselves. They're gossiping like everybody does. But then they always wanted to dance, but no one to dance with.
Uh-huh.
Well, as little as we were, we had no choice. They would grab us, we would stand on their feet, and they'd move us around the dance floor. That was my first taste of dancing.
Aww.
And I realized, as young as I was, that every lady that asked me or grabbed me, whether it was my aunt, my sister, cousin, or whatever, or a friend, that everybody danced differently.
Mm-hmm.
I felt different from different people.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, I just fell in love with it. But by the time I was in the 5th, 6th grade, I'm the youngest in the family, I asked my brother and sisters that love dancing also to teach me. And that's how I got started.
Mm.
See, there was no such thing as lessons. We didn't have workshops like we have today. And naturally, only the rich could afford dance lessons from Mount Murray.
Ah.
So I was extremely fortunate during the days of my high schools back in the early 50s, because I graduated in 1953, that we had together dancing. So every time we had a dance, a school dance or prom or whatever, you was always together dancing. Mm-hmm. And that's where I learned to develop my lead, so to speak.
Nice.
Then I felt I was smart enough to not to impress the person, but to try to just express myself what I'm doing on the floor without realizing it. So all this became later on. So what I meant by that too was that I wasn't one of those what I call macho men.
Yeah.
Don't tell me what to do. I know what I'm doing. Okay. What I would do instead, I would listen to the girls. When I was in school, I would listen to the girls. What are their complaints? Why don't they want to dance with certain people? Why do they want to dance with certain people? Why everybody want to dance with this person? The guy is good. He has personality, blah, blah, blah. The other person is good, but his nose is in the air.
Oh.
So I watch all those things. What the guy does, what they don't like, what they like. So I worked on that. So whenever I dance, I always took those things into consideration. And that's how I developed my way of dancing. Then I think it was in, somewhere in 54, 55, somewhere in there when Shelby Shacker came up with the twist. That's when those together dancing stopped.
Ah.
And then I felt it came back again when they came out with Saturday Night Fever with John Travolta.
Uh-huh.
And they started giving classes in the bars, the local bars used to give. They used to teach the hustle.
Uh-huh.
Back in those days, the togetherness that's coming back. Then I fell into the group. My brother brought me to the swing group. Mm-hmm. He belonged to one of the clubs. Mm-hmm. And that's how I got started. And then I got divorced. And then I joined this club called PWP, Parents Without Partners.
Okay.
So we were playing tennis one Sunday. Then they'll say, okay, we're leaving early today. I said, why? What's happening? Well, we're taking dance lessons. Dance lessons where? This is in Pasadena. I said, I want to go.
Uh-huh.
So I said, okay, where is it? Give me the address. I went home, took a shower, then I met them there. And that's how I got started.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
And I took lessons there. And believe it or not, this is what really took place when I first took my lesson. I went there, and the gal said, do you dance? I said, a little, you know. And they said, well, then, you know how they do it. They try to tell you the series of classes.
Right, yeah.
Cheaper and blah, blah, blah. So I said, by the way, when you buy this package of classes, you don't have to use it for just a dance. You can use it for whatever you want to use it for.
Oh, okay.
And we happen to have a beginner's class tonight. I said, okay. She said, if you want to stay here, you can start tonight. I said, I'd love to. So I did. Then after that, I said, what do you have tomorrow night? He said, oh, they have an intimate class. I said, oh, yeah, I'll come over and see what it's all about. So I went.
Uh-huh.
And then I said, after I said, well, what do you have tomorrow night? The student said to me, well, we have an advanced class. So I said, I think I'll come and check it out, see what it's about.
Uh-huh.
Or you can't do it.
Oh.
Why not? You see the lady on stage, she's a head instructor.
Oh.
In order to go into the advanced class, you need her permission.
Oh.
So I went over to her, I introduced myself, and I says, I understand I need your permission to get into the class tomorrow night. And she looked at me and she says, how long have you been dancing? So when did you, she said, when did you start dancing? She said, when did you start classes? I said, last night in the beginner's class. And then she asked me, she says, do you do West Coast swing? She said, I don't know what it is. It's what about Lindy? Or East Coast swing? I said, I don't know. I said, back home we call it jitterbug.
Nice.
So she looked at me and then she said, will you mind dancing with me? I said, it'd be my pleasure.
Aww.
So we danced, and after we danced, she sort of chuckled. She said, some of what you do, we call it East Coast swing. And some of what you do, we call it West Coast swing.
Ah.
I'll be honest, I don't know. We call it jitterbug. I'm from Hawaii, I said.
Uh-huh.
You know. Then she said, oh, you could come tomorrow.
Nice.
And that's how I get to start. So I said, and to be honest, the class is to meet people. You know, that's what I really wanted to do.
Sure. Connect with people, yeah.
And then I started going to the local bars to learn the hustle and you know, how you rotate. And I used to tell the guys, those days was fantastic. This is why. You had literally 3 women and maybe 1,000 guys. That's all. You know, it's like 50 to 1.
Yeah.
Because in those days, the guys didn't want to dance.
Not too many men dance. You were the king.
And then my advantage was that I did together dancing in high school.
Yes.
You know, and they used to tease me when I was in high school. They said, if we didn't have a dance on this alley, you'd probably swim to the next alley just to go dancing. Yeah, I guess so. You know, things like that. You know, people would tease me because I've always loved dancing ever since I can remember.
That's so wonderful.
So when I meet people, that's what I try to do. When I feel a little depressed, I try to encourage them. You know, that you should have fun. You should do this. You should do that. And I remember when I got inducted, people would come up to me, and I don't remember. You know, back to certain time you did this, I don't remember. You know, I really don't remember. You know, and then one person said, when it came to the press box, because the press box at that time was called Team Stable, it was known as the place to do West Coast swing. Mm-hmm. And if you belonged to the Rebels Club, the indication was you were one of those terrific dancers. That's the reputation they had. Marianne, Charlotte, all of them were in the club.
Sure.
And they all hung around there because nobody was teaching at that time. So when you went on a Friday night, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
Then I got to know everybody. I got to know the people that ran it. Kenny Wetzel and all of them. And all of a sudden, I became the doorman for him. So I met more people. And, and I would encourage people, and I would give my humble advice what they should do, what they shouldn't do, and so forth and so on. And I would tell a gal, don't sit here, sit here. And they say, why? I says, well, this is my idea of it. I said, when you sit in this area here, we call it the dead end. So what do you mean the dead end? When you come in here and you being new, all the guys are keeping an eye on you. And they're all waiting who's going to ask you to dance first. And they're watching how you would respond to them. Whether you would say yes, no, or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Now, if I was to walk to you and ask you to dance, and you were tired, or whatever the case may be, and you say, well, I'm sorry, not right now, I say, it's a dead end. I have to turn around and walk back out of here. Now, everybody knows I got turned down.
Oh.
And so people hesitate. But now, if you sit on this area here, I could come up to you and ask you to dance. And if you turn me down, I'd smile, I'll talk to you, we have a little talk. Then when I leave you, I walk straight to the bar. Like I just stop to say hello, I'm waiting for the bar. Give them things like this, where you should sit, where you shouldn't sit, and what you
Wow, that's so cool.
And and even till today, I always go up to the guys. I said, get up, go up there and make some girl happy. I love some of their answers. One of the guys said to me one time, they said, I am. I said, what do you mean? That's why I'm sitting. I'm making them happy. So I just laughed with them. I thought that was a cute answer.
That is a cute answer. Okay, so here's my question then. This leads us to question number 2. Because, you have a family, you have the dance community, you have worked, you're retired now. And so how old are you now? Are you 81?
85.
85. Oh my goodness, you're 85. Okay. So at this time in your life, who is it that you serve in your life? Who is it that you are wanting to take care of and serve in this phase of your life on this planet?
Now, your sister say that again?
So it's kind of an open-ended question, and like we all have people that we serve in our lives. When I'm looking at my marketing agency and I do this type of interview, the question that I usually ask my clients is, who is your target demographic? Like, who are the people that are your ideal customer that you want to interact with so you can serve? But now that we're doing this more on a personal basis, I thought it would be really kind of neat to still ask the question, but in a different way. Like, who is it in your life that you serve currently? Is it family? Is it the dance community? And how do you serve them?
Okay. First of all, it's a difference between family and the dance family.
Yes.
Okay, so for me, at my age, at this moment, the thing that really worked for me the most is my dance family.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is something I consider myself a high school dropout. I'm not a college grad or any one of those things. But the things that I've done, the things that I've learned is what you call street smart. I learn from the streets. I watch people, and so forth and so on. So anyway, I've noticed that my family versus my dance family are two different families.
I get it. I totally get it. Yeah.
And that one side, it's like the same thing when people ask me, what is my favorite convention? Then I always say to them, don't ask me, I'm the worst person to ask. Why? Simply because they're all good. I enjoy every one of them.
Uh-huh.
I said, because there's always something in one convention another one doesn't have. and it has nothing to do with numbers. I say, it's like, I'm sure you have had your own personal experience. You could be in a party with a whole bunch of people, but you're bored. You're not having a nice time.
Uh-huh.
And you could be in a small party and you're having a ball.
Uh-huh.
When you go home, and it could be vice versa.
Uh-huh.
It could be just the opposite the next time. So I can never say this is better than this other one. This had this but didn't have that. Mm-hmm. This one had this but didn't have that. Mm-hmm. You know. So and I found out one thing, especially during the Open, when people would say, you know, I hate the Open because they have nothing but competition and no time for dancing. Mm. And I smile and I says, no, that's not true. Oh yes, you know, if I'm ready to dance, they're starting another competition. I said, no. Here's what's happening for you. Let me see if you will agree with me or disagree with me. People like you, I would tell them, when you come to a place like this, it's a huge environment. A lot of people all over. When you start looking for a specific person to dance, by the time you find them, of course, there will be another competition going on. But if you really, really, truly just want to dance, you turn around, there's dancers all around you. If you look at the people that is constantly dancing, you don't see them get up the dance floor. Why? When the music is over and they thank the person they dance with, they turn and say, oh, would you like to dance? Mm-hmm. So when you say that you don't have time to dance, that no, you don't have time to find a person you want to dance with. That I will agree with you. But if you really want to dance, at any event you go to, there's dancers all around you. Mm-hmm. You know, so there's no such thing as I don't have time. No, there's no time to dance. There's always time to dance. It's whether or not you want to or not. Because you can look on the floor, you'll always find a certain number of people that is always dancing, always on the dance floor. Mm-hmm. And then you have a whole bunch that sits down a lot. Mm-hmm. And the gals would say, well, you know, it's hard for us because, you know, it's embarrassing for us to ask guys to dance. I said, yeah, but this is a new era.
Yes.
It's not a big deal anymore.
Women need to ask the men to dance.
Feel,
yes.
You know, yeah. I said, how do you think we feel when we ask you girls to dance and you say no?
Right.
So now you understand.
Right.
Now you might be a little bit more friendlier the next time. You see, so when you say no, I said, no, always stop, think about it, put yourself in their shoes to find out what's going on. You know, it's never a one-sided. It's always both sides. We have our good, we have our bad. Yes. Just what are we looking at? What are we looking for?
Yes.
You know?
Yes, and that's great. You know, you're absolutely right. One thing that I think that you're helping me understand about you is that it's your nature to help and to engage and to educate people about our culture and how things go in our community. And I think that one of the things that you do best in serving your dance family is giving them a perspective, because you did get into West Coast Swing practically on the ground floor. And you're welcoming and you're heartwarming and you are so kind in sharing your perspective without judgment. And that is a beautiful, beautiful trait, Carlito. That's fantastic. So I'm kind of curious next. We all have our why. And what I mean by our why is when we get out of bed every day, we get out of bed because we have a purpose, because we have a why, a reason. And as we go through life, our why can change, right? When we're kids, our why is we have to go to school and we want to be good boys and girls because we want Santa to bring us a gift at Christmas time, right? And then when we are teenagers, our why might be shifting toward our friends and wanting to fit in and be part of a bigger community outside of our family. And as we get older, I know that I, as a business owner, my why is to support the families that rely upon me to bring in work and money. But then also, too, I know that my bigger purpose in life is to create a ripple effect of joy that affects millions of people. And I do that through interviews like this, through my books, through the marketing work that I do. Because every time that I act upon my why, I can help other people meet their whys. You know what I mean? So my question for you is, at this stage in your life, at age 85, what is your why? Or another way to look at it is, what legacy do you want to be known for when people think about Carlito Rofoli?
Well, I don't know how to answer that because I don't think about it. I don't think along that lines.
Uh-huh.
Wherever I go, I watch people, and especially if I go to a place that I don't know too many people at all, or hardly anyone at all, then I like to sit down and just observe everybody.
Uh-huh.
See whether they what are their likes, what they dislike. See, it's like when I was in the service, for example, and I was stationed on Guam.
Uh-huh.
And at the beginning, I would tell people, I joined the army to get off one rock, and it put me on another rock. I consider Hawaii as being a rock.
So you went from Oahu to Guam.
And in those days, when I was in the army, and when I was stationed on Guam, there were a lot of guys, they had what they call Section 8. They couldn't take the island. They were going crazy.
Mm.
But then I noticed, especially on a Saturday, our last day of work for the week, so to speak. Now we all get off work, we taking a shower, we lying around the bunk, people getting ready to go on passes and going to town and blah blah blah. But this is what I normally hear around the barracks. Oh, if I was back in New York, I'd be doing this. Oh, if I was back in LA, I'd be doing this. Oh, if I was back in... So they always telling everybody what they would be doing if they were back home.
Uh-huh.
And they would say, oh, these people here are crazy. And this I make the remarks about the people, the Canadians and the people on the island itself.
Uh-huh.
Then I would put it by 2 cents. When you asked me, I said, well, I don't look at it that way.
Uh-huh.
I said, why am I going to say if I was back home? I'm not back home. I'm here. So what I want to find out is what can I do to enjoy myself where I'm at. Mm-hmm. Number 2, the people on the island did not ask me to come here. I was brought here. This is their island. So I should learn to understand their costumes, their beliefs, and what they like to do. Mm-hmm. Not what I want. If they came to Hawaii, then I expect them to understand us.
Yes.
Because they came to my island, so to speak.
Yeah.
In this case, I'm on their island. Because they used to wonder at me, how come I'm always going out on weekends and I'm always having so much fun? I said, because I make a lot of friends.
Uh-huh.
And I meet people, I try to understand what's going on. And there's things like this that will happen throughout my life. Regardless of what I'm doing, where I'm at. So when people see, where is home? I say, home is where you make it.
Oh, wonderful.
So I said, I don't care where they shoot me, where they put me. I used to tease, I said, as long as there's 3 things. What? There's wine, women, and song.
Wine, women, and song.
The reason for it is because if there's those were the days when I used to drink. I said, the reason I said it because as long as there's women and song, I'm able to dance. See, dance has always played a big part of my life. And today, I tell people, that's what keeps me going. This is what keeps me alive, is dancing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because the people are so beautiful.
I couldn't agree more.
And people would say, well, so-and-so was a bum, so-and-so was bad, she's this, she's that, he's this, he's that. I always tell them, I don't care what it is in life, whether it's on a dance floor, whether it's at work, or just being somewhere where there's people, you will always find to yourself people you love and you enjoy. And there's always going to be people that you may not like or they may not like you. So I said, for myself, I look at it this way. I can't please everybody.
Yeah.
And if they don't like me for whatever reason, it's their right to not like me. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to force them to like me. I'll just stay out of their way. There's too many good people out there. Why would I worry about those that don't like me? Yes. For me, that's their problem, not mine.
Right. Right.
I see, that's how I look at life.
Uh-huh. Oh, wow. I love it because you really have defined your why. Your why is to make friends, which you are exceptional at, and to dance. And those are beautiful reasons to exist. And that's wonderful. Oh my gosh, Carlito, you are such an inspiration. Okay, the last question is, what parting advice or words of wisdom do you want to share with the audience as the very first person being interviewed for Connecting with Jennifer Filzen? What do you want to leave us with?
What do I want to leave out there?
Yeah, what advice or words of wisdom would you like to share with the audience, particularly the West Coast swing dance community?
Well, for me personally, the first thing I would tell them to try to do is don't try to have people understand you. Understand them first. Then you know what to do with that person. You try to learn their idiosyncrasies, their likes, their dislikes. So when you're with this particular person or this group of people, you know what you should do, what you shouldn't do. And if you don't like what they're doing, then you go to the next group or the next person, whatever it may be. And basically what it is respect one another.
Yes.
And because we all have our good and we all have our bad.
Yes.
So the idea is like when I go somewhere, places that I'm not familiar with the people. Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, I'm very, very, very shy.
Really?
But I use the term. But if I'm in my backyard, I'm not shy at all.
Right.
Because I'm at home.
Right.
Like for example, I go to Atomic a lot on Thursday nights.
Uh-huh.
I call it my backyard. It's my home. That's Ben Morris's dance. Mm-hmm. I may go to another dance, say in Monterey. Uh-huh. I don't know who they are. I mean, know them from the dancing world, but I really don't know them. Uh-huh. So I'm going to sit back and I'm going to wait. Mm. So when I go to an event, a new event, I don't know the people. So I want to ask, but I don't want to ask. But now here's the funny part that people, and especially I want to say women, because now I always use the term followers. Right,
followers, Could be either gender, sure.
So it's something about what the followers don't understand is that sometimes, like this one girl one time said to me, how come you don't ask certain people to dance? I said, well, to give you an honest opinion, my honest, humble reply is this. I says, a lot of times I don't ask because I'm a dancer, especially with your top dancers, your all-stars, your advanced, your champions. I said, a lot of them will dance with me because they're my friend. Uh-huh. But when I use the term because I'm a dancer, like I told this all-star gal at one time, I said, no, I don't ask you people to dance for one simple reason. Why? Because I'm a dancer. Just what do you mean by that? I said, because I know what it feels like when you have a fabulous dance. Uh-huh. Now, the way the dancing is today, I can honestly say I'm a beginner. I can't do what you people do. I can't move the way you people move. So you as a follower, I cannot provide you what you really want in the dance to make it extremely enjoyable for you. Therefore, I feel I don't want to take up your time. You're here to have fun. And because of the condition I'm in, I can dance like I used to. I can dance every dance. So it doesn't bother me. If I have 2, 3 good dances for the evening, I'm extremely happy. You know, because I can sit down, I can observe people, I can watch, I can enjoy what they do. Even though I can't do it, I can still enjoy it. You know, but then again, you know, it's all up to the individual. You know, but I said that's what it's all about. I said, so I'm shy, and then here's what it started from way back when people when the gals used to say, "Will you get a dance? Or may I have this dance?" I said, "Well, if you don't mind, can we have the next dance?" And then they would say, "Okay." I said, "I'll be right here. Don't worry, I'll be here." And then this was the days when people used to ask me a lot to dance at that time. But anyway, so then when the music starts, someone comes up to me and asks me to dance. I would hold their hand. I said, "If you care to hang on a second, I had already promised someone this dance.
Yes.
But if she doesn't show up, then we'll dance.
Yes.
If you don't mind waiting." She said, "No." Then I look around and I see her on the floor. I said, "Okay, you're my witness. She's dancing. Let's dance." So I go up to where she's dancing at and say, "Excuse me, I just want you to know she's my witness. I waited for you." And she didn't show up, so I'm dancing with her. And she feels embarrassed. You know? Then afterwards she comes up, not everyone, but a lot of them would come up and they would so-called semi-apologize. I said, "No." She says, "No," she said, and this is what the normal answer I get from most of them. It goes something like this: "The reason I didn't come back for the dance, because they always say the next one, but they don't mean it." You know, they said they don't mean it. So
but you mean it. Yes, you mean it.
So I always say to them, I cannot speak for all the leaders, but if I say the next dance, I do mean the next dance.
Very
I can't
good.
speak for anyone else.
Very good.
You know, but I just want to let them know. You know, well, I didn't think you meant it. Well, if I didn't mean it, why would I say it the next dance?
So be clear.
I found it to be true, even today. Sometimes the girl say, "Oh, no, right now, the next one." So I wait, I watch, and she dances with somebody else. I mean, she didn't really mean what she said the next one. But those that say, "Oh, come on, let's dance, you know, this hour dance," then I know she meant what she said, or vice versa. You see. But I try not to push on anybody else.
Sure.
And you want to know why when I started using "I'm just a beginner"?
Yeah, tell me.
You have time for that?
Sure.
Okay. Years ago, at the U.S. Open, you used to have round tables, big round tables, not like now. Well, at this particular year, there was this bunch of gals that came in. Beautiful young ladies, you know. Not all of them were dancers, and they were all quote-unquote beginners. So like anything else, boom, you know, they all attack. I use the word they attack. All the guys, all the group that's coming up, they asked them to dance. So I sat on the side and just like I always like to watch first. So I'm watching, and then there's this young girl, you can see she's like semi-shaking, she's nervous. The guy comes up to her and said, "Would you like to dance?" She says, "Yeah, but I'm just a beginner, I'm learning now." And the guy said, "Oh, no problem. So for me, I call it, he was very, pardon my expression, he was stupid.
Oh, really?
He was trying to impress her. And what he did, he tried to impress her how good he is. Not take into consideration that
her
she
level.
meant what she said when she said, "I'm just a beginner."
Right. Don't outdance her.
And you can hear her shaking. She wanted to cry.
Poor
I felt that
baby.
she wanted to walk up the floor, but she was so nice, she just hung in there. And when she got through, she sat down and she literally wanted to cry, or she had tears coming down.
Oh.
So I'm observing this on this particular gal. So then I noticed, so I waited for a few dances pass by. Then I went up to her and I said, "Excuse me, would you mind dancing with a beginner?" Then she looked at me, she semi-shook me, she says, "Well, I'm a beginner too." I said, "Oh, good, we can help out one another."
Aww.
She got on the floor, she's squeezing my hand, and when I did the step, I did it like I was really, truly a beginner.
Did you really?
Real simple. Even my triple step was simple. It was like, you can tell, like I'm just learning. I'm really a beginner.
Yes.
Nothing fancy. All I did for the whole dance was basically underarm turn, side pass.
Nice.
Sugar push.
Nice.
Then I start to feel her hand starts to relax.
Nice.
Now for me, where I felt I had the best reward I could get from the dance, and why I love about it, when I took her back to her table, then her girlfriend would say to her, "You lied to us. You said you couldn't dance. You were doing this, you were doing that." And she would say, "No, it wasn't me, it was him." She said, "No, we weren't watching you, we were watching you." So I smiled to myself and said, "That's what it's all about."
Oh, that is amazing.
And then at another time, a friend of mine came up to me and said, "This was at the open outfit." He said, "Can you do me a favor, but don't tell her?" So what that, "Would you mind asking my fiance to dance?" "Oh, no problem at all." So I'd walk over. I said, "Hi, sweetheart." The usual, we give a little hug and a little kiss on the cheek or whatever, They said, "Go on, let's dance." "Oh, no, I'm not going to dance." "Why?" They're good. They're so good. I'm intimidated." I said, "Oh, okay." So I didn't push it. I said, so I point to each couple that's learning.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell they're learning.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Are you watching them?" "Oh, no. Why should I watch them? They're learning." So I did this 2 times throughout the music. And after a few songs, or 2, 3 songs or so, I did the same thing. "Are you watching them? Are you watching them?" "Well, them." So all of a sudden it says, "It's just painting, honey." Say, "What's that?" I said, "You love to dance." I said, "Yeah. But you don't want to dance because you feel intimidated, right?" She says, "Yeah. But yet, when I asked you if you're watching them, you said no, because they're learning." So I'm thinking to myself, if you and I got on the dance floor, who do you think will be watching us? Then she turned around, grabbed a drink from her boy or her fiance, took a sip and said, "Come on, let's go dance." Because the truth of the matter is that when they feel intimidated, do you think people are going to watch you? They might glance at you for a moment, but they're not going to keep watching you. They're going to watch the good dances.
Right? Good point.
Yeah, but people don't look at it that way. All they know, they feel that all the eyes are on them.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not watching them because they're beginners, do you think they'll be watching you when you get on the floor?
I'll be darned.
Things like this is what I try to get people to understand. Think about it. Why feel intimidated? It's hard. It's easy for me to say because I've been doing it a long time. But the truth of the matter is, that's what it's all about. Because if you go to a dance, whether you're watching competition or not, who are you going to really watch?
Mm-hmm.
The only time you watch a beginner because you might be interested in that beginner.
Sure.
Maybe you're helping that beginner.
Yeah.
Or you're teaching that beginner.
Mm-hmm.
Also, then who you going to watch? The people that you enjoy watching. The people that you admire in their dancing.
Yeah.
But people don't realize that, But the people that don't care, they just love to dance, they don't care.
Right.
They're going to be on the dance floor because they want to dance.
Right.
So when they said that they don't have time to dance, there's nobody to dance with, I says, no. The majority of people here are dancers to begin with.
Yeah.
Whether they're beginners or advanced or stars, but they're all here to dance.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
So So this is what I've learned throughout my lifetime, and I'm still learning more. That when I go to different places, like they always say, there's different strokes for different folks.
Right. Right.
So, I always try to find out how are they doing it here.
Mm-hmm.
Not how do I do it. So I try to learn and understand.
Mm.
But sometimes people just want to get out there. It's like learning. You teach, so you should know this for a fact.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a bunch of people that come to class, take one set of beginner's class, and they feel they know it all.
Right. Right.
Not realize it takes a while.
All right.
It takes time.
Uh-huh. It does take time.
It's what you want, what you're looking for. And then I've learned the word enjoyment, when you enjoy something.
Yes.
Well, when you say I enjoy this, I enjoy that, we all have our own definition of what we call enjoyment.
Mm-hmm.
What do we enjoy?
Mm-hmm.
You might enjoy this, like you might say to your girlfriend, "Oh, Dad, this guy is good." She comes back to you, say, "He's okay." She goes to you, "Oh, Dad, this guy is good." You come back and he's okay. And then you both say, "That's with this person." "Yeah, he's fantastic." To give you an idea that we all have different tastes.
Mm-hmm. True.
So what is good for one may not be. It's like teachers. You like certain teachers. You like certain dancers.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing I tell people what they should do, and like now, for example, I said, I saw it on Facebook, so I picked it up. Every time I see something on Facebook, I go anywhere. I read it somewhere or saw it somewhere. Like now when people say, like, if you came up to me, for example, and you said, I want to dance like so-and-so. Okay, let's, just for the sake of conversation, you say, "Oh, I want to dance like Tatiana."
Mm-hmm.
Then I would smile at you, and I would say, you may not be religious, but I have a question for you from God.
Yeah.
Then you look at me, this is what that is. The message you want me to give you is, why do you want to dance like Tatiana? When I made you to be you.
Ah, true. True. So true.
So then I add on to it by saying this. I says, what sounds better to you? So there's no right or wrong answer. Do you want people to come up to you and say, "Wow, you sound just like Tatiana. Oh, wow, you just like Tatiana." Or they come up to you and say, "Wow, you are a fantastic dancer."
Ah, that's true.
You're hearing.
Right?
I said, Tatiana already have a reputation, already has a name. She has her own signature in her dancing.
Yes.
Why don't you develop your own? Like God said, I made you to be you.
Fantastic. Oh, Carlito, you are so full of wisdom. Oh my gosh, we could do this for hours. But I do know that I need to wrap this up. But boy, are you the best first guest ever. I am so happy that Ken McAllister suggested that I interview you. It was on a whim, and you said yes. And boy, the golden nuggets that have been dropping from your mouth have just been so plentiful. We could buy a whole house with all this gold that you've given us.
But always remember, I always end up saying this. Remember now, this is just my own humble opinion.
Oh, that's what makes you so special, honey. You are the most loving and endearing person in our entire community, and I can see clearly how everyone holds you in such a beloved space in their heart. Oh my goodness. Well, everybody who's listening, thank you so much for listening to me connect with Carlito Rofoli, the 85-year-old West Coast swing dance legend who has a knack for making friends, having an attitude like a beginner, and observing humanity and connecting with them. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Carlito. I appreciate you. And thank you so much, everybody, for watching this very first episode of Connecting with Jennifer Filzen.